Hey everybody, happy Wednesday for once. Alan was down in Florida, so we had to kind of reschedule this to Wednesday. Um, things are going okay. I heard there's another train derailment. Um, this kind of thing makes you want to short the rails, I think. I think NSC is one, Norfolk Southern, which I think is going into a federal investigation in regards to Ohio. I think the train that derailed in West Virginia today was from CSX. Um, I was looking at them and it looks like they just bounced a little today. Um, but I think the trend is down. And looking at this SPX, I think it's down as well. Even though we were green today. Um, I'm not a big fan of this market. Tesla got crushed. They 2 weeks ago were looking at 220, and now I think they're fighting for 180, which I think is another important level for them. TSLA. I'm just looking at the monthly on my other screen. Oh, actually, it's quite low. Yeah, I am quite bearish on Tesla. What's Google doing? You were in Google today, weren't you? I think you were in calls today.
Yeah, Google calls today, yeah.
Yeah. Sold off at the end of the day. They're kind of
I took off at the zone of 96, 96.07, 96.15, 96.20.
okay,
Yep.
which is right around 10, 11 Eastern-ish
It
time.
is around noon time. So a lot of people realize how I trade. If I go long a stock like Google, so literally I'm looking for what it's going to do. I want to get out of the trade at 11, but if it's still uptrending, I'll get out at 12. Never hold a stock long going into 12. Usually it never works.
Right.
So that's Eastern time.
Well,
So
and I was going to
right
say
that
I was going to say you mentioned your trading times, which brings me to another thought. There are nuances to this 5-minute rule trading. Um, it would be foolish to just take the app and say, "Oh, it triggered long, I'm going long," and expect to make money. Um, there are because honestly, if that were the case, I would shove as much money into the market as I could if I knew it was a sure thing. Um, exactly like what I did with Google on Friday. I thought, okay, it's a common thing to go short Google on Friday. Well, Friday the market was incredibly bullish, and so was Google. So, like I said, there are these nuances that you kind of need to be aware of. Alan's trading times, the concept that if the stock rises at the open, it's going to retrace, usually within the first 30 minutes. So you kind of need to be aware. And another thing, if you're trading over the lunchtime, it's probably going to be flat. So like I said, it's not a 100%. I'll just put faith in the app and take it as face value. You kind of need to be aware of these nuances or aware of these things. But I think like the biggest guide are the 5-minute high and the 5-minute low levels, because those are your triggers and those are your stops. If a stock explodes past the 5-minute high and you chase it, you're kind of behind the 8 ball, because when it comes back down, and odds are it's going to come back down, you know, that's when your option starts losing money. So I guess I'll get off my soapbox, but mentioning those times kind of reminded me that that's one thing that I wanted to touch on was, you know, you need to keep all these things in the back of your mind. Um, Not every trade's going to work. Um, you know, be picky with your trades. You know, if you, one of my big things was, you know, chasing everything, fear of missing out on the rallies, um, thinking to myself, I had to trade all the time. So um, look for the perfect setups. Look for the setups that work. Look for the setups that either go above the 5-minute high and then retrace, and you can get in right near the 5-minute. Be picky, because those are going to put the odds in your favor. So, so yeah, I think that's what I wanted to say in regards to that. I know, and I texted Alan this, so some of you may have saw a post that came out Friday, totally bashing the app, you know, totally saying this was terrible. And what, and I was the one that approved it.
What was the day of the trade?
I
Because if it was Friday, it never triggered short or long.
I think he was in O'Reilly.
It was a
And
Thursday or Friday.
it
I thought it
might
was
have been,
Friday.
I don't know if it was Thursday or Friday. I should look back on my text to you. Um, but the point is that I approved that post because one, I wanted to say why the trade failed. Two, I wanted to convey that if you're not happy with the app, if it's not working for you, let me know. You know, I can either, and Alan can either tell you why trades are failing, where either your entry or your exit was wrong, or, you know, worst case, and I don't want to do this if I don't have to, but I will refund your money, because I understand that there are a lot of new traders and a lot of people that think, like I said, you know, don't have to worry about all of the intricacies of trading. And that's not the case. I don't want you to be in the position where you've purchased this thing and now you hate it, um and you, I don't want to say badmouth the group, but you know, have this negative aspect to the group, because that's not who we are as a group. I mean, this group is basically our primary objective of this group is to teach you guys the strategies that Alan has picked up in the past 10, 15 years. So, and on my list is a thing is, you know, and on Alan's list is our videos to kind of go through these different nuances. You know, and I can remember it's been years, but even posting what I call the Alanisms in the group. You know, Fridays are usually red days. You know, honestly, I don't even remember most of them, but they're out there. You know, so it just takes a little bit of learning on your part. And I think Alan, but I know me, will do what we can to kind of help you along in that journey, because we'd like you to succeed. So that's what I have to say. I don't know, Alan, anything else? I know you're quite the busy man.
So, first of all, I'd say watch for spirit. I expected to get back up to 20. I actually only posted a partial amount of my puts on it. I think somewhere around 50,000 I sold my puts for. Um, it's it was pretty predictable. What was unpredictable is after the news came out, the stock rallied about $1.70 now. I expected that. I told my wife it was going to happen. I bought calls, and do it. I even looked at buying $25,000 worth of calls. That's how sure I was of it. But you just don't know how this stuff's going to operate. Look to possibly be long Raytheon for the next couple days. It took a little bit of a drop. The SMA is at 99.50, so look for that to move back up. Google's retesting its highs. I got out at about 96.10. But going back what Brian says, very eloquent words today. Basically, if you get into a trade and you're down 10% or so, you just want to go ahead and get out of the trade. I mean, the thing is that what the whole thing with the app is doing is that how the app does is it gives you a green light to buy calls. It gives you a green light to buy puts. You're going to get a green signal or red signal. You have to monitor that app nonstop, consistently. As soon as the green or red light's gone and it says buy calls or buy puts, you're done with the trade. You've got to go by rules. And the issue is I've yet to find anybody that lost money trading that went ahead and did not follow rules. You have to follow your rules. You have to go ahead and do that. So the thing is, that's the most important part of the equation. So with that said, Brian, I'm going to cut it short today because I got to go to a meeting. I got a board meeting tonight. And if you get a chance, I'd like to get together with you if you can make it out to Rock City, Detroit. I'm going to be available on the 23rd. I'm not going to be traveling, but I got a lot of traveling coming up. So if you get a chance, look it up in your calendar, and we'll do we'll do one of those things. And so we can do some assistance for the traders. So
Yeah, definitely. So, two things, and I can't think of the second, but first of all, so just to clarify, have you called a bottom in spirit? Are you out of your puts and now
oh
into?
no, the buyout's at 33.50. It'll probably make its way back up to 20. But the problem is that uh, I actually got out of my I used to own Spirit stock. I got out of it. The main reason is that they got a poison pill the government's doing. They've never done this ever in their life. Is that they say, okay, you could go take it to court, and if you win, we got another way to fix you. That the Pete Buttigieg and the transportation people went ahead and said, okay,
Hmm.
you go ahead and win in court. We're going to take away your certificate of running your airline. And
Wow.
so the thing is that they won't go ahead and allow them to transfer it into the thing. So basically,
Oh,
I don't see any way Spirit can win this. And
right.
that's what it's not. It's at 17. The
Hmm.
buyout's at 33.50. So
Yeah.
it's they got some headwinds there. I don't know if it's gonna think. I think they're gonna go ahead and forget about the trade. But they did say it was gonna go ahead and be in 2024. They anticipated the blockage in the court. They did not anticipate this other thing, which is going to go ahead and derail everything, which is the Department of Transportation taking away the certificate that you need to operate your business under. So
Yeah.
that one, blocking that is bad for Spirit
Right.
and that
And I
whole merger.
think, yeah, and I think the original buyout price was 24-ish. And then they raised
Interesting.
it. Yeah.
I remember Spirit used to be 60, like 3 or 4 years ago. So
Hmm.
I mean,
Wow.
it's a joke what a stack is worth, but I thought 33.50 is a good. I think it's good for JetBlue and Spirit. If you
Right.
look at the statistics, JetBlue does not make any money. Spirit does not make any money. Hopefully, with those two combined and eliminate some of their synergy and some of the other things, that they could be both. That could be a profitable company. This is what the government doesn't see. The thing is that both those companies, if they keep going the trajectory they are going to be both bankrupt and both be out of business.
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
this is the whole problem with Rite Aid. This is why Rite Aid is worth 10 cents or something. You know, it's trading at $3, but that's a reverse 20-to-1 split. I sold all my Rite Aid at $23. I ain't no
yeah.
dummy. I mean, and even that was like, you know, and now it's at $3. That thing's going to be at 30 cents. You just watch it. The
Yeah,
point of the matter is that they block that, and Rite Aid does not have the money to continue as a company, and they know it. That's why they wanted the merger. And Walgreens could have went ahead and helped them, but you know, that's life. So
yeah, right. Okay, doke. Well, you have a good rest of the week. Have a good board meeting tonight. Um, yeah, and definitely weekend of March 24th, I'll make something happen. So,
all
okay,
right,
doke.
sounds good.
Thanks, everyone. Bye. Bye, Alan.
Bye.